Hello guys, my name is Armin. Today in our continued journey learning AutoCAD fundamentals, we're going to look at the very important panel. We're going to look at the modify panel. When you create objects, you need to go back and make changes to the object. So we're going to take a look at all the tools that we have on modify panel. We're going to start with move, copy, stretch, scale, trim, and we're gonna go to explode as well. I want to make sure we cover all of the tools that we have on the modify panel so you guys can apply it to your workflow when you're working in your daily work. Without further ado, let's jump into AutoCAD so we can start learning these tools. Starting with the modify panel, the first item is the move tool. So what we want to do is, we know if we push the middle scroll button, we can kind of move the whole drawing. But I want to move objects, I have to select them. And then I need to go to move. You can get a corner or you can give it a precise distance and basically move the objects, right? Or you can select the objects and type M, move tool, and you can kind of start finding the center of like the circles or rectangles or any object and basically move them around. The next one is going to be the copy command. So you can create multiple copies and cloning multiple objects with only one command. So what I'm going to do, click on copy, selecting all the objects, and then hit enter. And then right now it's asking me, where do you want to copy these object based off of? So again, you can grab a point, kind of move them, or you can give it a certain distance if you have, and you can keep doing these copying objects anywhere you want. And whenever you're done, simply hit the escape button and you can cancel the command. The next item that we want to look at is going to be the stretch. So what we need to do is, I'm going to click on the stretch, select the objects, enter, and it's telling me what is the base point. So I'm telling him this is the base point that I'm stretching this. Just keep in mind, there is you cannot kind of move the whole object, right? So you need to stretch the object based on some base, plane, line, point, or whatever it is. So in this case, you have this line at the end that I am stretching my whole object based off of that one, right? And you can kind of move it manually, or you can type a couple of units, 4, 5, 6, or whatever your unit is, and then basically you'll be able to stretch that. Okay, so the next one is going to be the rotate command, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this tool with the move tool, place it exactly where this is, and then I'm going to select rotate. So I want to rotate these basically the length to the y-axis. So the best way to do it is asking me to specify the base point. I'm going to specify this, but I'm going to use a reference. So the reference rail is really easy because I'm going to select the first point, the second point, and I'll be able to rotate. You can also just add some angles without using the reference line, but most of the time I'm basically using the reference line to kind of use it, and it's really kind of easy way to align all of these items. So the next one is going to be the mirror command. So for the mirror, I'm going to click on the mirror, selecting the object. I'm going to place the enter because all the selection process is done. So the first, the second, and then basically it's asking me, you want to erase the source? If you say no, keep both. If you want to say yes, just only give you the items that you mirrored, right? So I'm gonna put yes, just get rid of that one. So it's basically removing the source, only giving me the new one. But if you want to keep both, you just hit no, it keeps both objects for you. So for the scale, I'm selecting the object, hit the scale button. So I'm gonna specify a point to scale. So I want to make these 3 units bigger, so you guys can see makes it bigger. If you want to make stuff smaller as well, it's basically selected. I want to put it 0.5, So it's just basically half of the shape that I have. I had like a 3 units bigger and just made it like 1.5 units smaller. So just by half a point or 50%. The next item that we're gonna look at it is trim. So it's really important when you click on trim. Quickly after that, hit the enter button, and the reason for that is then you don't have to select all the lines, what type of line crossing the other lines. You just basically hit enter, and any line you go on you'll be able to delete them, right? It's gonna be really easy. You just keep deleting item, and then when it's done just hit escape and cancel the command. So fillet is gonna rounds off all the sharp corners. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on fillet. I'm gonna select the first object. So it's asking me for the radius. It's gonna ask me what is that kind of round shape that you want. What is gonna be the radius for the arc or the corner that you want to create. I'm just gonna put like 0.3 units, and then right now I'm just gonna click here so you guys can see easily. Runs off that corner for me. So you can kind of do that for any other corner that you want. Kind of select the first one because it's already 0.3 is use it as a default. So if you want to change it, just go here. You guys can see it's already 0.3. So for this one, I'm gonna make it 0.5, and then it's gonna basically change it. So it's up to you how you want to do it. Array command is basically creating arraying the same objects that you have at a certain distance on the y and x-axis, right? And there's like a few options. You can create it on the path. You have to curve, or you have to have like a curve shape path that you can work on. You can do it in a rectangular array shape or a polar array. So let's just stick with the rectangular. It's basically easy. You select and then you hit enter. It basically gives you everything. You can basically tell them what's going to be the columns, like the rows, and everything can be adjusted based on this alignment, and you can kind of create the different items. We can get to these commands more in detail, exactly how to use them, but for now just know how array has 3 different types. You can have it on the curved path. You can basically do a polar shape, and you can also use it in like a rectangular in the like a y and x axis. So basically tell it exactly what it is. So the next one is explode. Explode, I mean, it's pretty simple, right? So you have one shape that is combined, is grouped. So you want to ungroup it, right? You want to basically, I want to have any of these items by itself. So you can go over here, click on this, or you can just type explode. So it's up to you any way that you want. It can kind of bring up the same thing. And right now this shape is exploded, so right now I can select these separately, so it's basically turn everything into a line. If you pay attention, previously this one was one object, they basically used some polylines, or it probably was a rectangular, chamfered rectangular, so they shaped that we had all of these objects that you can use it. But with the explode, if I click on this, it turned it only to a single line, so I can select everything separately, and it's not gonna be one shape because this one can move by itself, right? So that's basically what we have as an explode. The last command that we're gonna look at it on our modify panel is the offset command. So I'm gonna click on the offset. Make sure you hit enter as soon as you select the offset, because if you're not doing that, it goes to a different format that is a little bit harder. But hitting the enter after selecting the offset makes you select the object, right? And then you can basically tell that if you want to put everything inside or outside, right? So I'm kind of selecting items and then putting stuff in and out, right? There you go. So it's really easy. We gotta make sure you select when you hit the offset. You select the object, you give it a dimension, and basically by moving your mouse to inside or outside out of shape and a specified um, dimension or distance, it can create a copy for you. It's a very useful tool, and it's going to be used on in AutoCAD in many occasions. Thank you guys for watching today's episode in Learning AutoCAD. If you like the content, please subscribe and leave a like, and let me know in the comment section down below if you like to learn a different tool or different panel in AutoCAD, so I can make a video that can help you out in your daily workflow. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.